As a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, I am no stranger to flopping. Listen, we roster James Harden. I totally understand the antics that get deployed by players like this who are very good at doing it. And as an objective observer of basketball, even I sometimes close my eyes or just shudder a little bit whenever I see them happening. Now, as a fan of the team, obviously, when they're going your way, you feel a little less worse about it considering that it is helping your team. But as an opposing fan, I can imagine that that shit is annoying to watch. And there are a number of players who get away with doing this, and they have the whistle. They have earned the whistle from the referees, whatnot, depending upon how their careers have gone. And one of the biggest names that gets away with this so often is SGA, the man that the video is titled about. I think one thing, no matter how you feel about SGA, I think the one thing that we can all say is that this dude is incredibly talented. He is one of the best players in this current iteration of the NBA. There's no mistaking that. I don't care where you have him ranked, but as of right now, despite the talent, SGA is incredibly hard to watch. I'm sorry. It gets to a point with the flopping, with constantly looking to earn the attention of the referee on calls that some of them should not even warrant a look one way or another. Some of them should not warrant a whistle. And SGA and his team, for that matter, know it. He is just manipulating the rules. And listen, I understand there are a lot of people out there saying, well, don't be mad at the player. They're just taking advantage of the rules. And I understand that. But at the end of the day, it's unethical as hell in terms of hoops. Like, who wants to watch that on a night to night basis? The product is getting to a certain point where it is literally hard to watch when he is trying to do this and get away with it so often. And guess what? He is. They are rewarding him time and time again for these flops. And it's not just him now. The entire Oklahoma City Thunder roster is doing this at times as well. And I've seen so many people suggest that it is just part of the game today. Everybody does it. And to a degree, yes, everybody does do it, but there are some that get away with it way more than others, and they're continuously enabled to do so because of the way that the games are officiated. I just wish that this type of stuff was outlawed in the NBA and frowned upon. And I think a lot of people, and if you look across all spectrums, all different social media spaces right now, he is getting the criticism that he very well deserves. Again, this is not a question of SGA's talent. We know that this is an incredibly talented basketball player. When you look at what he brings to the table in very specific areas of the court, whether that be the mid-range, where he completed something like 54.9% of his looks from the mid-range zone during the regular season. I think he made like 195 total middies on the year. And granted, he is struggling within that zone during the Western Conference Finals as the San Antonio Spurs are making life incredibly difficult for him at the point of attack. They're not allowing him to get away with that usual number of antics that he deploys. He is also struggling from three-point range, shooting like 26.1% during this series alone, and he's not been efficient from in the paint non-restricted area looks as well. So he's struggling. That is fair to say. And when he is struggling is when you often see him try to dig into his deep bag of tricks and get the referees on his side with the flops. So many flops, whether that be on calls that are away from the basket and he's just falling down, falling back, barely being touched, and just falling to the ground, whether he is flopping in midair, trying to kick his legs out and draw contact with the defender who has no choice but to try and get out of the way. And sometimes they can't. Sometimes it's a really good defensive stand, and SGA is still being rewarded with a foul call because of some of the antics that he has chosen to deploy. And it becomes increasingly hard to not only officiate, I'm sure, but it's also hard to watch and stomach as a fan of the NBA, where this stuff is consistently allowed. And again, it's not just Shai Gilgeous-Alexander who gets away with this. There are a number of players that do it at a really high rate. Again, James Harden is routinely called out for this as a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. Trust me, I know. But at the end of the day, man, it just gets so damn frustrating to watch because it almost takes away from the talent that that player has. It takes away from being able to appreciate just how good and well-rounded and versatile of an offensive talent that he actually is. He can get to the rim. He's been efficient there at the very least this series. He can knock down that mid-range shot. He had worked on the three-point shot. He is, or has rather, become a better facilitator. There are so many different things that he does well as a offensive talent, and they're almost all overshadowed by one thing, that being the flopping. It is just so freaking hard to watch. I wish we didn't have to constantly complain about this. And I understand there will never be a perfect world in which you're able to completely snuff that type of thing out. But I think more and more that the NBA referees need to just call this shit out and not buy into it, not continue to reward that type of behavior. And maybe, just maybe, when players see that they're not getting away with it as often, maybe, just maybe, when players see that they're not going to be rewarded, maybe they'll stop doing it. And maybe we'll see some real ethical hoops. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below, but I'm just so damn tired of seeing the flopping. It's seeping its way into every aspect of basketball at this point. I don't know.